And we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Well of Ascension live show, where we're going to discuss the Well of Ascension first in a little bit of non-spoilers, and then the spoiler part. And we're not going to spoil the Hero of Ages, so also in the comments, please don't spoil the Hero of Ages, because not all of us have read it yet. So,
Please do not spoil Hero of Ages. Like, seriously.
I think Alan will.
I have been walking around like this since I read Mistborn. Spoiler, Mistborn. And then I've just been waiting for someone to just like accidentally spoil it because everyone's read it except me. Please just let me make it to June so I can read it and not have to worry about it anymore.
Yes, so no spoilers for Hero of Ages or the rest of the Cosmere, for that matter as well. So you can introduce yourselves. These are all my lovely hosts, and just go ahead, Rima. You can start.
Hey all, Rima from Rima Reads. This is like my third or fourth time reading Well of Ascension. It's great. I don't know what else to say, but yeah.
Hey, I'm Stephanie from the channel Stephanie's Bookverse, and this is actually my second time reading here, Well of Ascension, and I loved it. It was so much fun on reread.
I'm Alan from the Library of Alexandria, and this is the first time reading Well of Ascension. So I've read Mistborn and Well of Ascension, and I have not yet read Hero of Ages, so please don't spoil it for me. This is actually the only two Brandon Sanderson books that I have read. So please don't spoil it. Please. I'm begging. Please don't
Otherwise, you will have the wrath of Alan.
Yeah. If you want that.
I'm never going to read, I literally will never read another Brandon Sanderson book, and I'll never read Way of Kings or Stormlight or anything. I will literally quit. So
No.
We can't risk that.
There you go.
spoil it.
Hi, I'm Abby from the channel Abby Salter, and I have read Well of Ascension twice in my lifetime with Brandon Sanderson. I read it once about 6 years ago, and I recently reread it for the first time. I loved it the second time around because I'd forgotten everything. It was a very interesting experience with my reread.
That's a good way to reread it, though.
I mean, I'd mixed together the endings of book 1 and book 2 and combined them into one. And then the ending of Hero of Ages I'd done weird things to in my brain.
So I'm Sophia from Sophia's Thoughts. Like Rima, this is my third or fourth reread. I'm not entirely sure. And really enjoyed it. I've read basically everything in the Cosmere apart from White Sand Volume 3. So clearly, I like Brandon Sanderson's books.
So clearly, I'm the expert.
So clearly, I'm a freak.
This is also only my second time reading Well of Ascension. I read Final Empire 4 times, but
Wow.
Well of Ascension is only my second time. But I really like it as well. So if you want, we can start with non-spoilers. So what are your overall thoughts? Because there's like a huge tonal shift in this book compared to the first one. And how did you like that? Because some people say this is their least favorite. So what did you think? Whoever wants to go.
It's my favorite.
Oh, nice. Nice. I had been warned that this was like, I heard that this was everyone's like least favorite. And I don't think it's so much of a tonal shift. Like, it's still like depressing, but like, it's just, it has a, like, what it focuses on shifts. Like, it goes from, being the heist to being 600 pages of how to rule after a revolution, which I think is really interesting. Like, I've been reading a bunch of books like this recently, like Fireborn and now this, and there was another one, I forget, but I really like this stuff, like post-revolution, people trying to govern and trying not to be as terrible as the people before them. And, sometimes you got to make tough decisions. And so I really liked it, but I really like political intrigue. If you do not like politicking, I understand. But I was fortunate in that I like both the heist stuff from the first one, and I also like the politicking of the second one. But I understand that if that's not your thing, this would be a very slow first half of the book.
Yeah.
I had no idea, until recently, that this one was the least liked out of the series. Maybe when I read them 6 years ago, there wasn't this much debate or talk about the Mistborn series. I think it was hyped, but no one really talked about in detail about the aspects they liked and didn't like. And they were all just 5 stars. They were all, I don't think I had have a favorite between the trilogy. Like, I like them all equally with 5 stars.
Reasons,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first read this like years ago, I thought it was my least favorite, but upon reread, I'm like, no, it's still amazing. I still love it so much. So I agree. I don't think I have a least favorite anymore in the series.
It is almost impossible. So
okay, so there's one thing that prevents this book from being absolutely incredible. There is one of the dumbest storylines of any fantasy book I have ever read in my entire life. And I blocked it out of my mind. And then y'all are talking and I'm like, why would people not? And I'm like, oh, wait. It's one of the dumbest storylines, one of the dumbest characters in any freaking fantasy book I've ever read. Like, I hate it. Like, on rereads, I will literally skim it. I'm
trying to figure out what part it is.
I think I
know what part.
I think I know
that
what
was
it
the part that I
The
didn't
guy
like
named
either.
Zane. It is a character named Zane. Zane is stupid. It is so dumb. Oh my God. I couldn't believe, I'm like, how do you write this amazing book and then have this in here? Like,
yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I think that was the reason why I didn't like it as much the first time.
What do you not like about it, or is that spoilers?
We can do spoilers. We're spoiling the book now. Go.
Okay, so if we're going to spoil it, it's just
Do
everything is super interesting, and then all of a sudden, this guy comes out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh, Vin, no one understands you. Oh, he could never understand you. And then he leaves. He's like, Vin, I understand you. It's just like, oh, no, but, and it's like and he's like, but I love you. What? From where? Like, it's so like emo. This is literally what someone would write down in their dream journal, one of my high school students. Meanwhile, we've got this incredibly adult and mature, dealing with grief, trauma, dealing with post-revolution, like Sazed struggling with his faith. And then we've got like, no one understands you. Like, Keanu Reeves should play Zane in the freaking like, it's so bad. It's so tonally jarring from the entire rest of the book. It's just terrible writing, and his dialogue is awful. It's awful. I hate Zane.
I don't think you're supposed to like him.
like he's completely out of my memory from my first read. Like,
he's terrible.
So,
He's so irrelevant, and it's like the worst. I think this is the worst love triangle that Brandon Sanderson has written. I hate it so much.
I've ever read.
It's so bad.
I don't even really count it as a
love triangle. Like,
It's a love triangle.
It's more like he's infatuated.
I'm so glad when Vin was like, yeah, I can't go with you, because it looked like he wrote it. And this is one thing I love Sanderson does. He makes you think it's going one way, like, because you've read enough. Like, I think people who haven't read a ton of fantasy wouldn't be pulled in. But because I've read like a lot of fantasy, you know, you're like, oh gosh, she's gonna go with him. That's where this is going. It's like, yeah, screw you. And he's like, what? No. Well, then now I have to kill you, or whatever he does. Like, when he died, the only thing I think about Zane is whoever the crap is talking to him. My prediction is that it's Ruin or whatever the thing from Well is, but I don't know.
Raffo.
Yeah. That's literally what, when I finished Well of Ascension, I immediately asked people, I'm like, do I find out in the next book who's freaking talking to Zane? And yes, I'm like, okay, cool. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. And I think that the things you were complaining about now will make a little bit more sense when you find out, but that's it.
Zane sucks.
It still sucks. It still sucks.
Zane sucks. 5 out of 5.
Like, you got Ellen over here who's so much better than Zane. Why, Vin, are you even considering? Like, why are you even looking at him? He's so irrelevant.
Like, Ellen, especially since Brandon Sanderson jumps the gun with Zane being like, oh, he's just using you as a weapon. At that point, Ellen had not done anything like that, had not even suggested that. So, like, that dialogue is too early. I'm just like, what? Like, Dan, why are you even listening to this? It's so stupid. I'm so angry about it. Like 0 of 5 stars for that plot line, but 5 of 5 stars for the book. 0. I give it a 0.
But did you see coming who he was? Did you not even care at that point anymore?
Didn't care.
Yeah.
Didn't care. I wanted was it Strahd? Not Strahd.
Straff.
I wanted Straff to kill him. Just like end. Hate Straff too.
Everyone
Straff
hates
is the
Straff.
worst.
Yeah, Straff is the worst. I think when he meets his end, it's like the best scene ever.
Oh yeah.
Finn coming out of the sky and cleaving his head with a freaking sword. That is so anime. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, it is so perfect. That was incredible.
Yeah, it's one of the when I read it the first time, I couldn't believe that this is what happened. So I went back. I was like, did she just cut him in half? Yes, she did.
You were surprised by that after she literally exploded a guy with her head.
I also didn't believe that one.
Awesome.
I love that scene. That's like one of
Yeah.
my favorite scenes in the whole book.
So good. Like, yeah, and freaking Zane being like, well, let's just go kill some random people. Isn't it fun? It's dangerously close to the danger makes me horny thing that I really hate. Like, oh, let's just go have some excitement. Give in to your power. It's like, shut up. Like, you're not Emperor Palpatine. You're not Darth Vader. Like, you suck, Zane. You suck.
Yeah, Zen is really. I'm glad he didn't stay a big part of the plot until later because.
So glad he's dead. I thought he was gonna be like a multi-book. Dead. Suck it, Zane.
Yes.
No, I'm really glad he was only in the one book. I think it would have been a lot more annoying if he would have been pulled over to the next one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Worst thing I've ever seen. Like, I will never. It's just terrible. Lando Sando, what are you doing? If I
So
ever
what did
meet
you-
him, I'm gonna ask him. That's the only thing I'm gonna ask him. Be like, look, I know you are a storied, like you are a legendary author, but I gotta know. What are you thinking? Like, what were you doing?
These were still his early books, though.
Yeah, this is also true.
I think it was Elantris and then the Mistborn trilogy
Oh, okay, that makes
in
sense.
terms of publication. So,
Yeah. This
Been
love
out for a
triangle
while.
work wasn't great.
oh yeah, it's been out for
Years.
well, how long has it been out for? Let's see.
No. I have many opinions on many things that happen in this book. They're so good. Like Ellen, for example. A lot of people hate Ellen.
Yeah.
I really like characters that stand for that. I do. However, Ellen might be a little too much for me. Like, Ellen's, like, you gotta govern, bro. Like, you gotta govern. And to govern, you gotta stay the king. Like, what are you doing? Like,
He was just a bit naive.
A little bit.
I love
Ellen's
Ellen.
a bit naive.
I love
Like,
Ellen too.
I like
He
Ellen.
has his morals, and he was sticking with his morals.
I agree with you. However, if your morals are going to get everyone killed because you refuse to take a stand and keep, I don't want him to be evil. I want him to be Kelsier. And when they're all sitting there like, oh, Vin's like, oh, Ellen would have made such a better king than Kelsier. False, Vin. False.
No, I don't think so.
I think Kelsey would have been an awful king.
Mm.
You are wrong. Incorrect, Abby. Pistols at
Ooh.
dawn. Kelsier would have been amazing. He would have done what needed to be done, and they'd all have been saved, and all those people wouldn't have died. Thanks,
No,
Ellen.
Are you
Kelsey
sure though?
would have
He
made
also
some
may have killed a
awful-
lot of nobles in the process.
Kelsier was coming around. He was coming around. He might have killed the nobles that are useless, that are trying to turn the city over to freaking Straff. Good
I think
riddance.
Kelsey would have made some bad decisions.
Worse
people might
than
have
letting
turned against
everyone die? Worse than letting the freaking, what are they, the Colossi, the
Cola.
The Colos.
Worse than letting the Koloss in the city to kill everybody?
Yeah, that I think he would never have let happen. He would have handled the whole siege situation way better.
Exactly. There's so much Kelsier hate in this book. I did not like that. I did not approve.
Is there
Kelsier-
Kelsier hate?
I don't think it's
Oh
hate.
yeah, there's
I don't think it's
strong
hate.
Kelsey
Yeah, I think-
They're all like, oh well, Kelsier was cruel. He was not as like this and this. I'm like, y'all don't even understand. You're welcome. Like, y'all are,
The thing is, I feel as though you're part of like the Kelsier super fan club, Alan.
yes, I'm a Kelsier stan.
Yeah.
Or
I love
Kelsier.
Kelsier as well.
Man, I wish Kelsier had been in this book. I'm so
You know,
sad.
when I read the book the first time, I thought that the spirit in the mist was him and that he wasn't dead. I refused to believe he was dead for the longest time. And
Yeah,
then because she's like, oh, he looks familiar, I was like, it's Calcia. Come on, guys, it's Calcia.
Yeah, I felt the same, but it wasn't. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be, because if Kelsier comes back to life and be like, really? Like, is that
Yeah,
what
right.
it is?
Trope.
Yeah.
I hate the resurrection trope. It's like my least favorite thing.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Like, there's no stakes. If you're going to kill someone and have them come back, there's no stakes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unless it's something that you've pre-planned into the plot, like from the beginning, like this is a thing that can happen in certain circumstances.
Like,
it just gets rid of all the stakes.
like the weird resurrection allomancer pill that
Well, I don't think it would work in this book. But
I was just like, what? Like, I thought the ending, oh my gosh, like,
Are we going to the ending immediately?
bouncing around. Guys, the
I'm
fact
making a list of characters. Go.
I'm so mad at myself when I'm like, the first sentence of the book tells you I'm writing this in steel, because anything not written in steel
Mhm.
of the first page. And I'm just like, why am I so stupid? And then
But everyone falls for it.
like when it ends, when Vin chooses to do the right thing and it's the wrong thing.
Yes. She's
I kind of wanted Ellen to stay dead, because again, we're talking about resurrection tropes, but I mean, I get it. Like, I don't know what the allomancy pill does, but apparently he's an allomancer now. That's like Senlin being an allomancer. I don't know what's going to happen there.
it really is.
That was not my favorite like
Yeah.
storyline of the book.
Yeah.
That happened for sure. And yeah, I don't like it when you have these people who they were normal. That was their part, right? They didn't have the powers. What he had was his learning. He was a scholar in those things.
Yeah.
I just don't like it when you have to make them have them.
Yeah.
I just don't like when
I
it
agree with you.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I haven't read the third book, but I think Ellen. I mean, it's just more interesting when like weak characters remain weak. Like, I like that Ellen could not really defend himself. I liked that Ellen handles the civil side. Like, that's his job, is to handle the civil stuff. Who knows what's going to happen now? And the thing is, Hero of Ages. The problem with Hero of Ages is that it's one book. And Ellen has never had any power, and I have a horrible suspicion that all of a sudden he's going to get very, very good at an ability that he just got. And that is my prediction. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
And don't spoil it, but like, it's just gonna be like, really? Okay, so now you're Superman? All right, Ellen, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Superman. Can you imagine Superman invisible?
Of course, Klaus is here to troll us as always. Thank you for appearing.
Good. The stuff with Sazed and piecing the freaking text together, it was just all so good. Like,
Right.
Sanderson is so good at laying the breadcrumbs. Because I'm not usually good at figuring out twists anyway. Like, it's not my strength, which is awesome because I'm always surprised. It's always exciting. But oh man, I did not foresee the Well of Ascension being bad.
So what did we think of Sazed? And because we know, Sophia, you don't like Sazed, so you are not allowed an opinion.
Not my favorite.
I think you like him in this book.
But I can't talk about why, because it's not this book.
Okay.
Okay.
But you don't like him.
Sorry.
Liked him
No,
right
not
now.
my favorite. Not my favorite.
My problem is, sorry, go ahead, Abby.
I was going to say, like, Sazed and what's her name?
Tindwyl
Yeah.
Well, like, them together, like,
Yeah, it was cute.
coming
was
together
so
and working
cool. And then-
together.
so
Yeah.
sad as well.
I'm worried the next book is going to be a drag. Like, because Sazed's like, oh, I have no faith. And Ben's going to be like, oh, no, I destroyed the world. And Ellen's going to be like, oh, what happened? Like, and everyone's just going to be like sitting around writing poetry and in the dark.
Oh no, you predicted the entire plot.
They're going to write
You don't even need to read it
They write
anymore. It's fine.
poetry.
Like, I'm just worried that everyone's going to mope around for 300 pages before they find
Not everyone if that makes you
Okay,
feel better.
first coming in with the truth here, it's an anti-drag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What did you all think about the Kandra and Tenzu and that
I
whole
love
twist?
Tensu.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
He's my favorite character.
Orasaur is my favorite, and I'm not calling him that other thing. He's Orasaur, so y'all can call him whatever you want. But Orasaur is my favorite freaking character in this book. And
Agreed.
Because the thing is, even though it was a reread, I was shocked when the reveal happened.
I reread that page like 2 times. I was like, no, it's not Orasaur. It's not.
And if you think about it, like when you know and you reread it, it's so obvious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And yet when you read it the first time, you're like,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
But he's still like, I love him so much. Like,
Oh,
what a cool creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone. I asked Angela afterwards, and she's like, "Yeah, I remember he comes back and he's like, hey, so I forgot to tell you, it takes a long time to like grow the hair." And she's like, "No, you already told me." And I'm like, man, when Orasaur, he was my favorite. I should have known something was suspicious because every single time I messaged anybody, I'm like, Orasaur, I love him. He's my favorite. No one ever said anything. No one ever responded like, oh, me too. No one ever said anything. And I'm just like, Orasaur's my favorite. I love him.
Orasaur is like one of my top favorite characters.
Tensoon is your favorite.
Tensoon is my favorite.
Well, yeah, Tensoon. But
No, I'm not going to call him Tensoon. He's
You
Orasaur.
have to.
You will.
Yeah.
You will
You
call
will.
him that.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Honestly, I forgot his name was Orser ever. I was always like Tensu in my head.
I know.
Tensoon is. I know that she had a dog the whole book, and that is Orasaur. That's what she called him.
I totally forgot. Yeah, after later, but I forgot his name was Orser. Like I didn't even remember that name at all.
Orasaur's
some
my
of the best scenes in this book that made me like almost cry were from his point of view. And one of them is when they talk about how he got beat, and I opened it up, and it's like when he says to her, with you at least they had to hold back for fear they'd kill you. Have you ever been beaten by a master who knows that no matter how hard he hits you, you won't die? All he has to do is get you a new set of bones and you'll be ready to serve again the next day. We are the ultimate servants. You can beat us to death in the morning, then have a service dinner at night. Oh, it's like so sad. I have chills right now just reading.
about their trauma was really, really really good. Like good stuff.
And the thing is on reread, it makes you hate Straff even more because
Even
you know
more.
he's talking about Straff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I hate
Well,
yeah.
and Zane.
Well, and Zane, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Zane's freaking psycho.
Zane sucks.
We know.
Just making sure in case everyone forgot. Zane sucks.
Zane sucks.
Just keep repeating it every 5 minutes.
Oh, I definitely will.
Subliminal messaging, it's fine.
As a banner, Zane sucks. But everyone knows. What did you think about the Kolos? Kolos?
Kolos.
I mean, dumb. They're just big, dumb. Like, I don't really know. I mean, I guess it makes sense that the Lord Ruler has, a fail-safe on all of them. I mean, I guess he created that. Again, I haven't read the whole series, so all I know is that Lord Ruler created both the Kandra and the Kolos, and has the same fail-safe in them, where I guess if you're a powerful enough Alamancer, you can push past their natural resistance to rioting and soothing and like destruct them. I mean, that's all I gathered from the way Vin took control of them in this book. But I mean, they're just big blue. They're gross. They're
disgusting. Yep, that's exactly what they're like.
You need to put some tears in your face, though. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
I'm sure Evie can gift them in.
Yeah. I do like when she finally figures out what to do with them, and then because of Tensoon, again, she knows what to do, kind of. And when she rides on them, and then everyone's like, "Oh no, the Kolos!" and Lady Vin, and then she's just like, "Yep, I own them. They're now mine."
They're mine now.
Yeah, and they'll stay mine while I go and sleep for like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I like the final, like the siege was great. Like I love siege warfare in books. Like That's one of my favorite things in historical fiction and military fantasy and stuff. And Sanderson wrote The Siege really, really well. I really, really liked it. When the Colossus are sieging the city and everybody's dying, like people are dying, like it's horrible. Like clubs, dead. Doxson, which I didn't care. Doxson was a douchebag in this book. Like I don't know what his problem was in this book. I liked Doxson in the last one, but he was not. I mean, he was mean in this one.
Yeah.
Who else died? Doxson, clubs.
I don't remember.
Tindwell.
Tindwell.
Something.
No.
Oh, and yeah, that's the other reason it's going to be a drag. Breeze is catatonic because of something. I forget what he.
Breeze is so awesome.
I love
I
Breeze.
fucking love
Yeah,
Breeze so
Breeze is
much.
great.
She's my
What happened?
favorite.
Why is he flipping out?
It just trauma, isn't it? Trauma
Yeah.
for witnessing so much death and clubs dying and hiding and fearing for his life.
That's right. He was hiding. Who was trying to kill him?
The
Everyone.
chaos.
Everyone bad guys.
I thought it was something more specific than that. Never mind.
And what about Marsh showing up at the end? Marsh always shows up when you don't think about him. You're like,
Marsh
what are you
is
doing here?
sneaky.
I need to know what is controlling the Inquisitors, because Marsh is clearly doing something he doesn't want to do. Like Marsh,
Someone's cat agrees with that statement.
yeah. And so, yeah, I don't really understand what the Inquisitors are doing. And is that a Raffo? Please tell me it's a Raffo.
It is a Raffo.
Raffo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I did not like Marsh like betraying freaking Sazed and stuff. Like what? What are
I
you
don't
doing?
think you are left with any questions
No,
at the
I
end
don't
of.
think so.
No, it wraps things up so well.
Yeah,
It
it wraps things up so well.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
That's
one of
why
my
it's
favorite
really not a
endings.
drag, even though it's a big book. I mean, there's some stuff that happens where in the beginning, you know, it's always a little bit slower, but then when you hit a certain point, I mean,
Yeah, it's like the Thunder Lunch is like virtually the whole book.
yeah.
Like,
I'm really excited to see what you think when you actually get to read all these things, because I'm because you're thinking about the right thing. So
The questions will be answered.
yes,
yeah.
Good.
for sure.
I like Well of Ascension. It's very, very good.
I'm
Yeah.
curious to see, what do you think about, because the huge plot point in this book is that they can't find the ATM. What do
Oh,
you
where the ATM is? Yeah, it's supposed to be in its. Oh, that's right. They still didn't find it, even when they went down to where the Well of Ascension was. They still didn't find the
Right.
stupid ATM. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll did something with it.
So there was something that I think I told the other people already once when we talked about this, but I watched a live show a year or two ago from people that read the Final Empire, and they were saying, "Oh, it's so dumb because he put so much emphasis on that little room where the Lord Ruler was always hiding, and then they went in there and it was nothing, but actually it's where the Well of Ascension was this whole time." And so sometimes he just puts a little nugget somewhere, and then it gets resolved in later books, and that's what I love about Sanderson.
So is that what the Lord Ruler was doing? Is when the Well of Ascension got like I guess restored or whatever, he would go down and like refill his power or something? Or is that just they just thought the Well of Ascension was something that gets used up and recreated? Who knows? I don't know. Who cares?
I actually don't know. So
I just
don't
wish
remember.
that the well hadn't been filled up until
Yeah.
the point
Hmm.
that he hadn't needed to like.
That was
Yeah,
always
right.
my assumption.
Yeah.
Mine too. He hadn't retaken it yet, but he kept it there so he could when it did.
Mhm.
Okay.
Which
How
is
does-
now.
How does it fill up? Like, does ruin just
Fine.
fill? Like, I don't really understand the Well of Ascension. It's just a thing where ruin lives and is like, no, do the right thing. I'll get rid of the creeping, the drowning, the darkness, the deepness. It's the deepness.
thinking like,
I'll get rid of the deepness, which is apparently. Ooh. town.
I really like the fact what we were saying earlier, how Ruin is twisting all the words, and then they don't see it happening. And if you're reading, you also don't see it happen because you don't compare. And so,
You do. Oh, I totally noticed it this time.
yeah, this
Because
time,
This time I was like, ooh.
Yeah, this time I totally noticed it because they were reading it, and the very beginning says that I wrote it in steel, right? But then when he rereads the very beginning to Tyndall, it doesn't say that at all. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So you could have technically noticed it the first time through, I guess.
yes,
If you compare.
That's
but
like so many things with Sanderson.
yeah.
Like,
I didn't catch that at all. Didn't even kind of catch it.
I'd be
Right?
very impressed
You
if
don't,
anyone
because
caught
you're-
that.
mhm.
There's something that I mean, Alan, you can do it if you want, but you don't have to. But I watched someone's video where Sanderson said that the whole resolution for the whole trilogy is on page 1 of the Final Empire, and I went
that too, and I don't want to go look at it because
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Like I don't know what the secret is before I read the freaking book. You know what I mean?
But when you're done, do it. It's like it's very subtle as always with Sanderson, but at some point, like when you know, you're like, oh, it was here all along.
So is it like the first page of the prologue?
Where's my?
I knew there was something to figure out because they kept like looking like Sazed and Tyndall were like, what's going on with the prophecy? Like they kept looking at it, and I'm like, what am I missing? Why can't I figure it out? I'm so mad.
Yes, first page on the prologue.
Okay, I will have to have a look.
Yeah, same.
He is very good at dropping hints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Sorry.
He's very good at hiding hints in plain sight and slapping you in the
Yeah.
face with them, and you
Like,
still
they're
don't
so
notice.
obvious when you reread. It's crazy.
It's literally like, how did I not see this? How?
Yep.
How did I not notice?
Unless you're like Abby and you think book 1 and book 2 were one book, and then
Well, I don't know what went on with my memory, but I guess 6 years is a long time. So,
Yeah.
it is a long time. I thought,
and I had some very interesting memories of book 3. So, but that's book 3.
yeah. So, what did we think of Vin in this book? And we talked a little bit about her, but
I love Finn.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
love
still
it.
really liked it. I think you could see her challenges in this book,
Mm.
and where she, I guess, struggled with herself. Like the scene where she goes a bit psycho and kills a whole load of people, and like how she deals with that and where her like mental state is throughout the book. So I can see why some people might be a bit annoyed by her, but it felt, I guess, realistic to her as a character.
I agree. I think she had wrapped up so much of who she was in her relationship with Kelsier because like, he was the only other Mistborn that she knew. And he kind of was like the one who pulled her out and saved her. And then he just abandons her and she's trying to kind of figure out who she is without him. And then who she is within Ellen's new world where he's the king and like all these politics, and she's like, well, I'm not a lady, I can't do that. So I don't know. I think it was really well done and I liked it, but I liked that it didn't like ruin Vin. You know how sometimes when they have these crises and stuff,
Yeah.
it can make you really annoyed with the character. I didn't feel like it did that too much with Vin for me.
And I think it's realistic for her to sort of question whether, like, where she comes from, being as like an orphan, with having enjoyed the balls and that sort of atmosphere and the nobles, but also going, not knowing where she fits in with society and like where her place is, because she's blended her personality to fit both like parts of society.
So by Kelsier abandoning her, you mean saving the world from the Lord Ruler? That's what you mean.
Yes, but I think her feeling of abandonment came because he was planning on dying and didn't tell her. I think that really affected her a lot.
When they would have stopped him, the greater good. Then
I am on your side on this, Alan. I'm just saying.
I will fight. I will fight these anti-Kelsier people. Vin annoys me, but I think she's a really well-written character because she, I don't think she annoys me because she's a bad character. I think she annoys me because she reminds me of, like a lot of my students who are still working through like still working through, trying to figure out who they are, identity crises. She's working through trauma. She's been like Sanderson. I said in my Mistborn review, like this is one of the real portrayals of poverty. When you have been poor for a long time, just because you now have money does not mean you stop acting like you're poor. Like, it's just habits. And Vin does that. She doesn't trust anybody, and it's annoying. Because I'm like, Vin, because it's fantasy. Like, obviously, real people, you cut more slack than fantasy characters. Fantasy characters can solve anything with the blade of a knife. Like, you just stab someone, your problem fixed, right? Like, but it's just like, Vin, these are your friends. Stop. Like, stop what you're doing. Stop thinking about Zane. That's dumb. Ellen is not going to leave you, Vin. And we all know that. But, I mean, Vin doesn't. And so I understand it. Yes, Zane does suck. So I understand it. But at the same time, I'm just like, Vin, just like, I need you to keep your eye on the ball. I need you to focus on the plan. Like, I need you to. This is the whole problem with the last book. People don't follow the plan. Follow the plan. Vin.
I mean, I think the character growth.
The way you always being Team Kelsey. It's not like I'm anti Kelsey. I just feel like I'm not part of the Kelsey like super fan club.
Oh, I love Kelsey. Yeah, but go for it, Rima. You were going to say something.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, the character growth of Vin knowing that Osor betrayed her, or Tensu betrayed her, but at the end she still trusts him is like something she never would have done in book one. Yeah. And so I feel like she's getting there. She's like opening up, and I love to see it in this book.
Yeah, at the end of the book where she realizes that, hey, like Ellen, like she's like has this this big character transformation where she's like, okay, cool. I gotta, like, these are my friends. They're not gonna abandon me. I gotta do what I gotta do. And that's when she, slices Strap and stuff.
I love that. Not only that she kills him, but the fact that that's when she's like, okay, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for that horse though. The horse didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, the horse.
Yeah.
The horse.
I feel bad for all the horses when she like grabs their horseshoes and throws them. I'm like, oh, what did they do?
That was way to get there.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
Not really. They try.
They tried. They pretend that was their plan all along.
Wait, are you having Six of Crows now?
No.
Oh, worse.
We're back on Well of Ascension.
I don't know. I find Vin and her struggles really relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know she can be annoying because you think, oh, come on, stop moping. Kelsey left, but Ellen won't betray you. But you have to put yourself in her shoes, and yeah, that's why I love it.
But that feeling of not being enough,
yeah,
is just so relatable and realistic. And it's like it's clearly wrong, and you're just like, no, accept yourself, love yourself. He does love you, but. I think we can all relate to feeling like we don't belong in certain situations.
Oh yeah.
I however do not have the power of a Mistborn, where if
Well,
I did, I might feel less that way if I was to be a superhero the way Vin is. I don't, but I mean I get it. No, that's 100% relatable. Like #relatable.
And something I love is that they didn't use elements to cure her insecurities and her mental health. Which I like. Because I wonder if she could just like use her powers, and be like, oh, I'm just gonna soothe this away or whatever. And she doesn't. She just tries to figure things out on her own.
On that soothing point, it's just reminded me another part of the reason why Breeze is now like catatonic is because he had to experience all the fear that everyone else was feeling in that situation and try and soothe it away. So he's dealing not only with his own trauma, but the trauma of those around him as well.
I don't think you actually feel what other people are feeling when you.
But he's so attuned to it.
He is very attuned to it,
of being so like plugged into what everyone else is feeling and taking responsibility for making their emotions be in a better place.
Yeah.
It would be so hard to just soothe people as they die. You're like, well, I'm just going to make you feel better, but I can't do anything to save you. I'll just watch you all die. That would be so rough.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
Alan Manser.
Why?
It's the power I use to get people to read books that I want them to read. He's
You
Alan.
do. I
Oh,
just
yes.
watched the Olympics
Like,
video.
literally everyone is
Yes.
reading Stenlin and Guard and
Third.
the
Traded
Lord
Blade and Long Price.
I took 0 to do it.
Actually,
I
just-
really want someone.
no, I just saw that Brandon Sanderson, when he was like recommending books to people, guards, it's on the list.
Ryan, good for you, Sando.
Mhm.
Did anyone expect, like, okay, so again, with Sanderson, like, subverting your expectations from fantasy, everyone knows that when you get removed, or like when you get suspended or whatever, you go, you reconnoiter, and you come back with a rousing speech, and, you know, you get restored. Ellen comes back with a rousing speech, and then some dude's like, can we change our vote? and like, this is what I'm talking about. Like I get having morals, like I do. But at that point, you can be like, no, you can't change your vote. Like, and everything's fixed. That is the decision that I disagree with the most, is like, dude, just say no. Like, that is among the list of sins you could commit, Ellen. That is the smallest one. But
My thing is, like, he actually put it in the law that they could
Yeah.
change the vote. Like, he made it that specific.
what a dummy.
Like, what? No. What are you
When
doing?
Ellen got removed, I was just like, what? Like, that's not how this goes. He gets reinstated. Don't you know how to write fantasy, Sanderson?
And I feel tense reading that bit every single time. Every time I expect it to go differently. And I'm like,
Yeah.
we've already read this book. The words on the page didn't change. Like,
Unless
They weren't really.
unless you've taken a rubbing of some steel, then
Am I the only one who totally saw it coming that he was not going to get reinstated? Because he brought that upon himself. You know, like, he's such a good person, but he was not doing a great job at, like, actually politicking.
But with
No.
Tyndall training him and stuff, I really thought it was gonna happen, that he was gonna get reinstated.
Yeah.
No,
I was
I
like,
did
now's
not
the time he'll become like the true king after everything he's learned and gone through, but nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Now he's emperor, isn't he? Emperor
yeah.
Ellen the Alamancer. Mm.
Which I don't know how he can make his morals think that's okay, because he's so moral, right? And he's always all about the choice of the people. And then he's like, nah, I'm just going to have Vin kill people and make me the emperor. So, done. I'm like, whoa.
well,
Complete
I
shit.
mean, she didn't really give him much choice. She was just
Yeah.
like, right, I'm going to go in, kill a bunch of people. Now you're the emperor.
Deal with it.
Deal with it, yeah.
I hope
I
that's
like
good with
that.
you, because that's what's happening.
I totally agree. That's what we should have done like a while ago. But I just don't know how Ellen can be okay with that.
You assassinate Straff, page 1.
Yep.
Yes.
Problem solved.
Mhm.
When they even went in and then they had this discussion with him, I was like, what a waste. Just kill him.
Straff.
Yep.
Kill him.
What did you think of Straff's like poison and everything, like with his how he was being poisoned and then he thought he was actually just having the antidote? That was like so stupid. He's such an idiot.
It's drugs.
And just having kids so he can have Alamancer kids. Like, what is wrong with
I
him?
actually think that was kind of brilliant on his part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to bear the children, so it's fine for him.
Yeah,
he can-
exactly. And if they're not Alamancers, then he just gets rid of them.
It's like so messed up, but like,
Right.
I guess a good evil guy plan.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
Straff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Straff
everyone
sucks.
hates Straff.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
glad
mean,
he's gone.
there's no one that's like head of the Straff fan club.
It's the same person.
Or Zane.
So what
Zane
is
Straff's
your-
an interesting bad guy. Zane is just the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Zane is so bad.
He sucks. I think I don't even need to ask who your least favorite character in this book was, because I think the answer is Zane.
I think everyone's Zane.
Yeah.
Maybe someone else says someone else, but
Oh,
I say
maybe,
Zane.
yeah. Does someone else have a least?
Because you weren't a fan of Ellen before, were you, Alan? In the
No,
first.
oh, you're right. No, I didn't. No, I did not. I was not a huge Ellen fan because, again, Ellen disrupted.
Didn't stick to the plan.
Correct. Because of Ellen, Vin broke the plan. Stick to the plan.
But the thing is, Ellen didn't know about the plan.
No.
But Finn did.
Vin did.
So why do you hate Ellen, though?
Because without Ellen, Vin would have stuck to the plan.
But why is it like?
I can do Vin too if you want, but people tend to be more okay with me disliking Ellen than Vin.
Okay, but this second book has made you change your opinions on Ellen.
Yeah, I do like Ellen. I think telling them that it was okay to change their vote is stupid. I do not think that is good. That's not even rational, even for a moral person. Like, that's just not a rational thing to do when your city is in that much danger.
Well, yeah.
Overall, I did like him. I'm not gonna like him now that he's like
what, an Alamancer.
But we'll see.
So who was your favorite character in this book? You can take turns.
Kelsier.
Kelsier's dead.
The character who's not there.
In this book.
Kelsier is everywhere in this book, guys. Kelsier is everywhere.
This I agree with.
Out of characters that are still alive.
Yes.
Orasaur /
Okay,
Yes.
Tensu is definitely the best character.
Tensu
Yep.
is the best.
I love him so much.
But the
what
thing is,
was-
I feel as though my love for Tensoon happens more in the Hero of Ages.
It solidifies. But I already loved him. Here.
That's
Yeah.
where it's not so much in this book. It's the third book where I'm like, Tensoon.
I love him in this book. I love that he, I love him as a dog being like, hey, mistress. Yeah, I don't want to do that, mistress. I'll believe what you want to believe, mistress. Is that an order? I'll believe that if you need
I
it.
know his little snarky attitude. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Grouch. I like Orasaur. I'm not calling him what y'all want me to.
You will. You will come to our
You will.
side.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just
you
right
will.
at the end of Hero of Ages.
I'll still call him Orasaur.
No, you will not. Ow.
You won't.
You said,
You
well,
won't.
now it's a challenge.
One book from now, you'll be like, "Who's Orsor again?"
Challenge accepted.
Oh no.
Okay, Barney.
That's right. Just wait till my Hero of Ages review. I'm gonna be like, Orasaur was really cool in this book. They'll be like, who? I'll get so many people in the comments. His name is Tensoon.
The five of us
They
are
will
gonna
be right.
You have everyone saying, Orasaur died at the beginning of book 2.
I'll be like, I have no recollection of that.
Well, it didn't happen on page, so fair enough, I guess.
Exactly. Picture it didn't happen.
I
And your
think
favorite
that's
character of
actually
book 3 is still gonna be Kelsier.
genius move.
Yes. I love Kelsier. He's such a good. Kelsier's one of my favorite protagonists of all time. He's on my top 10 list.
I love him as well.
Yeah.
So what were your favorite moments of this book?
The whole of part 4.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the ending is really good.
One of my favorite moments was when the first time I read it, it hit a lot more because I thought Sazed was going to die. And he was my favorite character. And I was actually like crying. I'm like, this is the worst. I love Sazed. And then Vin just swoops in and saves him. That was one of my favorite parts. I love that trope of that like last minute come in and save them thing.
Cavalry.
Yeah.
Evie, and the cavalry is just one person. It's
I
just
know,
him.
but it only needs to be
Evie, you
Vin.
have a gif of Kolos Allen in this video.
When Marsh calls when Marsh stops Sazed, yeah, I thought he was going to die too. I was like, oh, okay, Sando, okay.
I was pretty sure Sazed was a goner in this book. There were so many times that I'm like, yep, that's it. He's dead.
What did you think of Verukami? Because this is like, we get more about Verukami in this book.
I mean, it's like crappier Alamancy. It's like the proto Alamancy. I mean, it's cool, but it's not as cool as Alamancy because you've got to use it, and then when it's gone, it's more like magic items, really. Like once you've used them, that like in D&D, magic items have charges or used to, and when like they were done, you had to go recharge them, pay money to recharge them. So that's what it's like. Like he's got his little rings, and then he's like, oh well, these are useless, and he throws them off. And but it does. I mean, I guess it does last longer. Like the burning, they burn things faster. I don't really understand the Duratanium,
Duralumin?
Yeah.
However
So
you say
I don't
that.
really understand how all of a sudden that people have been wondering for forever what the 11th metal is. And then all of a sudden like, oh yeah, we made this here. And then she uses it.
Duralumin wasn't the 11th metal.
No.
Well, no one knew what it was. Like
no, because they didn't know of its pairing. So they come in their pairs, right? And so aluminum is the one that she found out from going in because the Steel Inquisitors made her burn away her metals, right?
Yeah.
And then duralumin, she's like, well, it has to have a pair. And so that's how she found duralumin. But if you hadn't ever known that aluminum existed, you never would have found duralumin. But I think
but the Inquisitors knew that aluminum existed. How does no one else know that duralumin exists?
Because the Lord Ruler wants to keep it all on the DL.
Yeah, he knows. He just doesn't
knows everything.
tell him.
I mean, okay, but I mean, Vin Burns, she busts her duralumin out a lot, and then immediately is immediately able to use other powers. Like maybe
no, she's not using other powers. She's strengthening the metals that she's using.
Yeah, but the whole point with duralumin is it burns everything. Like everything.
No, it only burns one burning.
Only if you're burning the metal.
Yeah.
So she's burning
that's why
pewter.
aluminum.
It'll burn away her pewter.
Yeah. With aluminum, she lost all of her reserves because they asked her to burn everything when they gave her aluminum.
I had the first description of it wrong. And the whole time I'm like, where are you getting these other metals, Vin?
So that's why she talks about like turning off certain metals before burning duralumin, because if you burn duralumin, it burns through whatever else you're burning really quickly. But if you turn it off, that still stays there and will be there once the duralumin is done.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, because the 11th metal is called malatium.
I don't know
When you burn to like see other people's past people.
Yeah,
like,
that's how she figured out about Lord Ruler in the first book.
Bye, Evie.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We're getting real in depth into the magic system, and that's something I really love about Sanderson's books is how you can debate the magic system, because it is a hard magic system with rules. I don't know. I think it's so fun.
Yeah. That's why I find Ferrochemy is just so interesting, because it is really different from Allomancy in so many ways, and there's so many interesting ways to use it, like when Sazed starts filling the weight to make himself lighter. I just find that quite interesting.
Like the health bit. With healthy, you'd have to spend days ill.
Yeah. Or like, let me just wear glasses for a few days so that I'll have like virtually X-ray vision at some point.
Yeah. I have to wear glasses every day.
Well, exactly.
Klaus doesn't like the side characters, or most of the side characters.
I don't like several of them. I think Ham is dumb. Like, I thought, like, I was sad when Club died. Like, I wouldn't have been sad if Ham had died. I like him in book 1. I didn't like him in book 2. I do like Breeze, but I like Breeze in the first one too.
I like Breeze the most.
Yeah.
I do find like Ham and Doxon, like they can blend together.
Doxon and Clubs
some of that
blend.
crew just even on like they did blend a bit for me.
Yeah. I like Spook. He's adorable.
Oh yeah, I like Spook.
Less Debornes.
Less Debornes, yeah.
Spook too. You just said something. Literally.
I like Spook better in. I think this is very unpopular. I like him better in like the first and second than the third. So.
Yeah, we agree with you. I think, Christy. At least Sophia does.
I do not.
I mean, I'd want to have Allomancy, not Ferrochemy, but I do find Ferrochemy very interesting.
I think the nuances with Ferrochemy is pretty cool. How you can like work it differently to get different results.
Yeah.
And it really suits Sazed and his like scholarly mind, I feel like.
I like how he hulks out when he puts it in.
I know.
Sazed Kolos, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, Alan Nancy is the best.
Yeah. Did you see this? There's a sticker that someone made that it's like super buff Sazed. It's like Jim Sazed or something like that. And so because he's huge when he.
I refuse to look at fan art until I'm done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
You can't.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I hear crepes like everything gets spoiled in any fan art for any freaking Sanderson.
Yeah.
I wish you can't escape fan art of Kaladin, Shallan, and I guess just those two. I don't ever see Dalinar. But Cal and Shalon, there's freaking fan art everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is.
I've never even read the book, but you can't look at anything. Everyone's like, hey, have you seen this guy? I mean, I have now. I know what he looks like. Never even read the book.
On the plus side, most of it isn't spoilery.
Thank goodness.
But there is, before I read The Hero of Ages, I looked at fan art for the Mistborn trilogy, and there was a scene that completely spoils. But thank God I never connected the dots in my mind, and so, yeah. So, Alan, since you're the only one who hasn't read Hero of Ages, what are your predictions?
I told you kind of like my prediction, Elend. Like I think he's going to get really good at it really fast, and it's going to be annoying. I also think he's going to, I don't know, even if he gets good at it, he's going to have all of these like problems. Like he's not going to be able to, Vin's going to be worried about protecting him if he goes on any of the missions with her, and he's going to be like, oh, we can't do that. Like we can't kill them. It's like, shut up, Ellen, stay home. Like,
Wear a mask, stay home.
Just let Vin murder in peace, please.
Wear a mask, stay home, wash your hands.
Yeah. He's not suited for wet work. So one of two things has to happen. If he's an Allomancer, I mean, if he's like a Mistborn, because he's a Mistborn, right? Like he's not just an Allomancer. Like he's a Mistborn. So the only way Sanderson can give him all those powers, either, I don't know, like he's gonna have to not be Elend, I guess, because with all those powers, I don't think you can stay Elend and have all those powers. So I think he's gonna be, I don't know, he's gonna have some kind of personality change. I don't know which one's worse. Him like harshing Vin's buzz, hurting to be able to do stuff, or him being like, ugh. The worst thing to become some Zane-like character. Breeze is gonna mope around and become a drunk. Vin's gonna be like, oh my god, I broke the world.
Just like that.
Just like that. What else? Ruin is going to make the volcanoes erupt or something, the ash mounts. They're going to, what have we not done yet? We've been to where have we not been? Oh, the Inquisitors are going to be, all that stuff, all the metal stuff is going to end up being controlled by Ruin. And so it's the fact, because here's what it is. It's Ruin, and the reason he was talking to Zane through the metal spike in his heart, and that's how he's doing it, and that's how he does it with the Inquisitors, the metal spike in his eyes. And so that's what it's going to be. And also we're going to find out who the Spirit in the Mist is, which is really some person from across the dimensional plane trying to warn Vin from a different dimension. And it's going to be all like weird. That's my prediction. And then
it's going to be all like weird. Okay.
Vin's going to like take control of the Koloss, and there's going to be a Koloss army. And none of this is true. I'm just talking now.
And what about the title?
Interesting
What do you
theories.
think?
What about what?
The title, like, what do you think?
I mean, very obviously, Sanderson wants me to believe that Vin will become the Hero of Ages. However, I know for a fact this will not be true because Sanderson is a liar. I'm on to his game. I'm on to his game this time.
So who do you think is the Hero of Ages?
If it's not Vin.
I think the Hero of Ages, if it's Elend, I'll quit. I won't read any more Sanderson. Stupid Elend.
I thought you just said you liked him now.
Not if he's the Hero of Ages, clearly.
I like him now. If he's the Hero of Ages, I don't like him. Kelsier is the Hero of Ages. I hope it's Kelsier. If not, the Hero of Ages doesn't exist. It's some bullcrap that's like the Well of Ascension was. And the thing is, I know it's not Vin because the back of the book says, can she become the Hero of Ages? No. The answer is no, because Sanderson's a liar. He does it like nothing is what it's supposed to be, especially as part of that stupid prophecy. So it's not Vin. You heard it here first. I will eat my hat if Vin I will eat my hat. You heard it here.
I expect a YouTube video of that.
So you need to come back for the Hero of Ages live show and eat your hat,
right,
perhaps.
and you'll see me chewing on a hat if that's the case. But Sanderson is a liar. It's not Vin. It's not.
Do you think you'll vlog reading The Hero of Ages?
I would love all your live reactions, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like X amount of people like on blast. Like I have like I have several Voxers that when I see things in Hero of Ages, or when I saw things in Well of Ascension, I'm just like, what? What do you mean Orosaur's dead?
You need to share these with everyone. This is the best.
So because Sanderson's a liar, and here's the thing. Here's a subclause. If Van is the Hero of Ages, the Hero of Ages is a bad thing. So that is my subclause. So it's possible he's not lying, but that it's terrible, just like the Well of Ascension. But I don't think he'll dip into that well twice. That well twice. I have no idea. I don't even know what this book could be about. Like, what is Ruin? Like, I don't even know what it is.
That's what I was going to ask you, if you knew what Ruin is.
No, I don't. The Inquisitors are going to be the bad guys again. The steel stuff, the metal crap. Allomancy itself's going to, at the end, the world's going to be wiped clean and there's not going to be any magic anymore. There's not going to be any Allomancy or Ferrochemy. It's all going to be gone. That's my prediction. And everything's going to be, the world's going to be green again, and the Ashmount, it's going to rewind time or something. Everything's going to be fine.
What would happen in Era 2?
What?
What would happen in Era 2 if the world was just perfect?
There are trains in Era 2, so at some point they learn the power of steam. But I'm assuming that the world has to stop being destroyed by Ashmounts in order for that to happen. Oh, you're right. They have, I guess, Mistborn. I guess they do have the magic. All right, well, that's not going to go. But the world's going to be technologically advanced. They're going to finally learn. They're going to finally learn about the steam engine, and
that's considered technologically advanced.
Yep.
More than what they've got now. Freaking Caesar had to run. If they had a train, he could have just hopped the train back to Luthadel.
The hoverboard back to Luthadel.
Yeah.
No, hoverboard is dumb.
Well, didn't he say that Era 4 is going to be sci-fi or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Space.
Yeah, space. So.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all like Era 2?
I haven't read it yet.
I like it.
I read Our Body of Law, and I started, and I made it most of the way through Shadows of Self, and I had 100 pages left, and I never finished it.
I think the third book is the best in Era 3.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I will revisit it. I just was on a struggle bus.
It's not as good as
Yeah, it's not as good. But it's fun. It's not like amazing, but it's fun.
It is a complete tonal shift.
What do you think of the people who like it better than the first era?
They're weird.
There are people who like it better?
Yeah, there are.
There are a couple.
Are there?
Yeah.
I've heard.
How strange.
Yeah.
Those people.
I don't trust them.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They must
Appropriate
be people who
response.
still call Sensun or Sir, maybe.
Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. What Sanderson book should I read after I finish this series? Should I go ahead and read Elantris? I have.
Warbreaker.
Warbreaker.
Yeah.
Warbreaker, then Stormlight.
Yeah, because you want to read Warbreaker before Stormlight.
Yeah.
When do I want to read Elantris?
Yes.
Whenever.
Yeah, you can read that one whenever.
Why does everyone hate Elantris?
I love it. It's my
It's a
favorite.
good book.
I've never read
I
it.
love it.
I read Elantris after Mistborn Era 1.
Oh, I gotcha.
You can read the short stories too. I would fit them in because I didn't, and I kind of read them out of order, except for the 2 Stormlight ones. I read those. But like the novellas and stuff, I would slip those in where they should be because I feel like it's really fun to do that and you don't get spoiled as bad.
But not Secret History. You have to
Yeah,
wait
not
until after Era 2 to
I haven't
read
read any of the
Secret
novellas.
History.
Right. You haven't read the novella. Oh, you haven't read all of Stormlight though. Okay.
No.
You should read the novellas in the Stormlight archive in the order, I think. Especially.
I think the Emperor's Soul novella is one of the best
that one's
novellas
good.
ever. It's so
I
good.
think you'd like that, Alan, actually.
When does book 5 come out for Stormlight?
23.
3.
I'm in no rush. for it.
2023?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah,
2022, I think.
Guys,
No, because that's when Mistborn.
Yeah, that's when
That's where I want it to come out. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it should
But
be.
you live close to him. You can go bully him, remember?
I should. You know who also lives close to me is Justin T. Call. Like, I have authors around me, guys.
Where are you?
Ooh.
What?
Where are you?
I'm in Utah. Yeah, so Sanderson just lives like that way a bit.
I'm not gonna swear. I'm not
I
gonna
know.
read
I actually know where he lives.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I know.
I'm going to turn up and be like, I want a manuscript.
I know. I'm not quite that creepy of a stalker that I've actually gone to his house, but I know where it is.
The good thing is that there's so much Stormlight content on YouTube, and that because I do not want to read X 1,200-page books every time there's a new Stormlight book. Like I did that with the Game of Thrones books, and I'm not doing that anymore. Like I don't have time in my life. I'm 39. I don't have time. But fortunately, there's so much Stormlight content that every time there's gonna be a new book, I can just watch people talk about it. And be like, that's right. I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that. So I don't have to like.
Is
I'm
it?
gonna let other people do the work for me.
I think Jay from Captured in Words has a lot of like really in-depth summaries of the books on his channel as well.
I'm trying to space out like.
I don't know how you're doing it. The minute I finished Way of Kings, I was like, I need Words of Radiance now.
Can't do it.
And then I needed Edge Dancer. And then I needed Oathbringer.
Oh my gosh.
Like, damn it.
I feel like after Words of Radiance is where I was like, what?
Yeah, Words of Radiance.
Gotta go.
Which I think you'll like, Alan.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get to Stormlight till next year, which is fine because it's a little closer to.
Yeah.
Release date,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you should read Warbreaker. It's really good, and as of now, it's a standalone. So
The cover is hideous. I hate the cover.
Yeah, the cover's pretty bad.
For my
UK cover is good.
UK cover is good, but the US cover is
terrible.
Yeah.
Got like ticker tape out of her mouth.
And she's just sitting like.
It's like, what's wrong?
yeah,
with you?
it's weird.
So Alan, do you know anything about like any of the bigger Cosmere lore?
No, I don't even like. No, I don't.
Okay.
All I know is that Hoyd is a character that's in a bunch of different books. And I would not even have known who Hoyd is if someone like I'm like, oh, you mean the guy that's like the fence in book 1? I wouldn't have cared, but then someone told me. And the Cosmere, I'm assuming is just a bunch of worlds that are connected. Like I'm assuming it's a Dark Tower Stephen King thing. Because a lot of King's books are connected to the Dark Tower world type thing. So I'm just assuming it's like that. If Kelsier freaking shows up in a different book, I'm gonna be cheesed. Like I'm gonna be like, if we're gonna start making like weird crossovers between books, I mean, I don't know. Like I just don't know how I'm gonna feel if that's how we end up rocking it. Like if I don't. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it really all just depends. I don't like sci-fi as much as I like fantasy, and so
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know. If I see Kelsey in a different book, I'm gonna be mad. Like I'm just gonna make a Twitter post or an Instagram post and be like, what is this? Like, what is this?
What is this?
Like, if they die and go to a different world, I'm like, what? What are you doing?
Then you'll go to Brandon Sanderson's house and be like, what is that?
I will go to Stephanie's and then I will say, where does he live? And then I will just be like, Brando Sando.
We have issues.
And I'll be like, I'm not with him.
I don't know him.
I'm not with him, but can I have a manuscript?
Even a manuscript. But I have a bone to pick with you. Just like I said, if John Gwynne does not, I guess I can't say that. There was something that if John Gwynne did not do in his last 2 books, I was going to fly to the UK and find him, but he did it. So that's good. That's happy.
Yes.
Yes.
Skyward
Is
Sword.
it Cosmere or is it not Cosmere?
It's not Cosmere.
No.
It's also YA, towards
it's
the younger
sci-fi.
end of YA.
What about Steelheart? Is that Cosmere?
No.
Also YA.
Does anyone like Steelheart?
My
heart.
heart.
I read it, yeah.
I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. Again, nothing like amazing, but fun.
Yeah. When you need a palate cleanser, maybe.
Yeah.
I want him to finish the Rhythmatist because
Yeah, I really like the Rhythmatist.
I had my niece read it and she's like, this is so good. Can I get the second one? I'm like, no.
Ask Sandro.
It's been years. And I think I
Yeah.
saw on his like update things, because it always gets pushed back, that he tried to write it one time, but because he was incorporating like more Latin American influences in it, he found that he needed to do a lot more research so that he could like give it the like effort that it deserved. And then it's now just been like put back because it's no longer like a quick thing that he can squeeze in.
Yeah.
8 years. What the crap, Sanderson?
No.
Yeah,
He's prioritizing Cosmere, I think.
Yeah.
which I'm
But
not.
I want the
upset about.
arithmetic.
I do want that too, but I remember he said, because I went to one of his book release parties, and he was talking about the arithmetist, and he said that he got pulled into the Wheel of Time stuff, and by the time he went back to it, he's like, I was just in such a different place as an author. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this story anymore. Like I was just didn't have a clear vision for it, and so I just put it off, and so.
Yeah. And to be fair, I would rather have Stormlight 5.
Yes, same.
Yes,
So.
me too.
Is he going to take a big long break between 5 and 6? Since
Yeah.
Yes.
5 years, I think he said, before he starts writing.
Let's not
6.
die.
Did you say I hope he doesn't die?
Yeah, I'll be.
I hope I don't die.
But is there, I mean, 5 at the end of it is meant to sort of wrap up a little bit.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
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 There's an in-world time jump of about 15 years, I think, between
Hang on.
books 5 and 6.
So hang on. I am 39. I will be 41 when book 5 comes out. Skip ahead 5 years to 46. That's when he starts writing it. So then it'll probably be another 4 years from there.
It'll be
3,
60 when it's
3,
done.
6, 9, 12, 15 years to the end of Stormlight 10.
12, I'll be 61. I will be about to retire when he finishes Stormlight.
Oh my god.
I mean, be glad you're not 60 now. Then you wouldn't make it.
I am glad I'm not 60 now.
I just got my mom into it, and
Sorry.
You're cruel.
Sorry, Mom.
I mean, it must
right?
be,
That's how I feel. I'm like, oops, Mom, you might not see the end of these books.
Just
It
read
must-
it. Read it at the funeral. Just read the whole
it would
thing.
be weird to think, like, in more than a few years' time, like in a generation's time, that people will have all the books out and readily available to them.
They'll binge them.
Yeah.
But what if, guys, what if the Sando train runs dry? Like, what if Sanderson comes out with books but no one cares anymore because everyone's
Oh
moved
yeah,
on?
I don't
Never
think
gonna
that'll
happen.
happen.
It's never gonna happen.
Never gonna
I
happen.
never thought the crap that's popular now would be not Sanderson, but there's popular stuff all the time that people like. What if the world moves on? Like,
I'm not.
I don't think so. I'm not moving on. Not moving on from the love of my life, call it
there's
in.
a bunch of old
Nope.
people and the kid. None of the
Yeah,
kids.
I'm gonna be in like
Like
retirement
60.
home, like Stormlight 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Christy's not happy with you right now.
What if the world moves on? What if his publishers drop him and say, "Look, no one's buying your books, Brando.
Oh!
But he's 45, so he's wanting to get it done in
The next
25 years.
That's
Good.
like a quarter.
Glad
of
he's got a
season.
timeline.
Was that? Did he want to finish Stormlight by that point, or did he want to finish the Cosmere
I think
by
the
that point? Because he's
Cosmere.
still got to do Dragonsteel.
Yeah.
What is Dragonsteel?
Hoyd's books.
What? Hoyd is a fence in Mistborn. Why do I care about Hoyd?
You will when you read Stormlight.
Why is he in Mistborn? If
He's in everything.
Everywhere.
Because when
Why?
Brandon Sanderson was a kid, he liked to imagine there was a character that existed in all of his favourite fantasy books that he was reading. And so that character is Hoyd. That's where Hoyd came from.
Convinced Alan.
I mean, I guess. I get it. Like, that's fine.
I still think he's gonna finish the Cosmere before George R. R. Martin finishes his stuff. So
George
Oh,
R. R.
yeah.
Martin is going to die before
George R. R.
he
Martin's
wins
never
a-
finishing.
Yeah.
He
yeah,
does not care. He does not care.
Yeah,
He
he's
is a sailor sitting in a lighthouse. That's all he does. He sits in a lighthouse and he writes TV shows for HBO with his sailor hat. He's never going to finish it. Everyone must disabuse themselves of the shared delusion we all have that he's ever going to finish. He doesn't care. And I get it.
no,
Like,
he's not gonna ever.
I talk about a book like that I've read before I review it. I don't really want to review it anymore because I've already said everything I have to say. The show got ahead of where he was. The show's already done a bunch of stuff. Like, I know if I was him, I'd be like, I don't really care about writing this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's never gonna finish it. It's not gonna be done. He's gonna have to get someone else to finish it after he dies, and maybe Brandon Sanderson. But
I do not think Sando could write Game of Thrones. There's too many sex scenes.
Yeah.
Joe Abercrombie could.
Yeah.
So Mistborn Era 4 is under the Cosmere, which makes sense since it's in space.
Yeah.
So. Cool. Well, does anyone have anything to add to our live show?
This was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Thanks for having me. Sorry,
No, I loved having you there because you didn't know it was going to come. It was really fun.
Yeah.
So I'll watch this back after I watch Hero of Ages to be like, none of that happened, Alan.
Or that you're a genius. You don't know.
I don't know any of it, I promise. Daniel Abraham's amazing. I would totally read Abraham's Game of Thrones.
I have a few books of his now on my TBR.
I don't have any of his. I'm going to have to.
I don't think I've read anything.
Everyone read Long Price Quartet. It's so
That's
good.
what you wanted to add.
Oh.
Okay.
But what about his other series? Something Dagger?
Coin. I think I'm gonna start Dagger and Coin this summer. And then he's one of the writers of The Expanse, which I'll read eventually. But
He wrote The Expanse. Okay.
Yeah, he's one of them. It's him.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that was one of the authors that Brandon Sanderson said to read as well, was Daniel Abraham.
Good.
Thank you, Christy.
And he blurbed Foundry Side too.
Awesome.
That's because Fantaside is the best.
I love Foundry Side.
When does the third book come out in that series?
I don't think there's a date.
There's no date yet.
Robert Bennett is joining the storied ranks of Martin and Rothfuss.
No, he's not.
Rothfuss.
He's not, because he's already completed a trilogy. He's already
Like from
completed.
the heart.
Like, he completed the Divine Cities trilogy. Like, I know he can do it.
Yeah, he can do it.
He doesn't know he can do it.
It's just so weird to not have a date for the third book. Like, I'm trying to figure out what is he writing, like, otherwise.
He's
Like,
been writing a couple of horror books, I think.
Wow.
There was quite a big gap. Well, not a big gap, but there was a longer than usual gap between 1 and 2 as well. I think it got pushed back quite a few times. Shorefall.
I didn't know this.
I'm looking right now.
That is awesome.
Cool. I did not know that either.
No.
I think I learned that literally like 2 nights ago with Philip Chase and Jimmy, who were talking. I think someone said that. Otherwise, I didn't know.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm
Awesome. I'll see
excited
you guys
to be
in
able to read
June
Hero of
for
Ages now.
the Hero of Ages. Yeah. So for whoever wants to be on in June, just tell me, and then we can chat Hero of Ages.
Yes.
Yay!
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.